Shalawam family, Shalawam. Hopefully everyone is doing wonderful today. Okay, I decided to do a little different scenery today, family. Come out here to the park, you know what I'm saying? Out here really to the lake. And there's a lot of people out here early this morning. You know, people out here, sad to say, but a lot of people out here on the Shabbat cooking and things of that nature. But again, I'm not gonna let that distract me and stuff like that. But it's still beautiful scenery out here. You know, maybe let's see if I could turn the camera on and give you a quick shot of the lake and all that stuff like that. Let's see, give you a shot of the lake. Each shot of I hope you can see the lake way back there, off in the distance. There's a lot of trees and stuff like that. But anyway, family, you know, this was on my heart, on my mind, because I hear a lot of brothers and sisters complain. A lot of brothers and sisters complain, you know, about the system and, you know, what's happening to us as far as not being treated fair or what have you. And the sad thing about this, family, is you know, when you give brothers and sisters the vision of trying to live a set apart life, you know, they're still going to complain. You know, they're going to complain about the system. They're going to complain about you know, what you're trying to do as far as edify them or teach them, you know, how we should be going about living a set apart life. Like I say, being in the truth, I've been in the truth now, family, if I can use that terminology, about 8 years now. And I've learned more about my walk, about our family, about our people, more than anything, you know, because, you know, coming into this truth or walking in this set apart life, I find that brothers and sisters who call themselves conscious or aware or awakened are actually worse off than the people who are asleep. You know, we still do the same thing. We bring that same spirit into this consciousness or to this awareness or to the spiritual walk or to this renewing of our spirit of trying to renew our covenant, trying to renew ourselves. We bring that same spirit out of the world into this, and that's sad. That's really sad. You know, because the scriptures is really for to help us navigate through these times. You know, especially dealing with the moeds, you know what I'm saying, the Shabbats. You know, you know, the high holy days. You know, once we learn, especially like dealing with, like, let me give an example, like dealing with the Feast of Booths. The Feast of Booths, dwelling in tents for 7 days, you know. You know, it brings you back to nature, brings you back to, you know, what our ancestors had to endure through when they was in the wilderness. But, you know, you can't get brothers and sisters to spend one night in the booth, you know what I'm saying, or tents, you know, or live on out there in the wilderness or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine when things go crazy, what's gonna happen? Those same brothers and sisters that are complaining, you're trying to get them acclimated, or you're trying to get them used to that set apart life of being out there in the wilderness. They're gonna complain. They're not gonna be ready. You know what I'm saying? So you may have to separate yourself from these people. You know, again, you know, teaching brothers and sisters how to deal with gardening, how to grow your own food. Brothers and sisters will complain about that. They will make every excuse, you know, about gardening and not why, you know, well, I stay in an apartment, and if you give the people you know, little planaries or buckets to grow certain food, you know, or certain herbs and spices in, and they're gonna complain about that. But they'll go work for the system, a system that don't give two dead flies about them, and they'll complain about the system. But you will not do nothing to better your condition. That's our people just like to complain. You know, I had a brother leave a comment on one of my videos. He said, well, we're in our captivity, man, and y'all talking about going out there and building the community and stuff like that. But these same brothers that will make those statements, they will talk about, well, you know, we need to have multiple wives and this and that there. But you can't even provide for your own self. You can't even provide for your own self. You know, let's deal with that. Let's deal with this here just a little bit, family. Let's go to Jeremiah 29 and verse 5. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them. You know, again, you know, now remember, this is during the Babylonian captivity. So our ancestors built houses. Our ancestors had vineyards or had gardens where they can eat, you know, their own food, the food that they grew. You know, you complain about the genetically modified food, the GMOs and stuff like that. And I had another brother, well, all the seeds that are out there are genetically modified. I mean, you know, our people will make an excuse on every level. Our people, you know, it's like, is the Most High's word valid? Is his word really valid? Because no matter what you say, these brothers and sisters are going to find some kind of excuse. I'm not saying that a lot of the seeds are not genetically modified. I'm not saying, matter of fact, you can if you understood a little agriculture, you know, a plant that doesn't produce seeds, and a lot of these, if they don't produce seeds, that's number one, a telltale sign. When you number two, when you buy seeds, you know, and these seeds don't reproduce next year from the fruit or the vegetables that you extract the seeds from, if they don't produce, then you know you out of a problem. So again, you have to get out there and you have to do the research. You have to do the work. But our people are going to complain. Our people will you know, that's what this video is about, is just how our people complain about everything. They will not get up on, you know, the sad thing about it is, family, is this. The same public food system that we were indoctrinated through, we're going to send our children through the same system. The same system. I want y'all to think about this here. If you took 6, 7 families, 8 families, whatever, you know, or however many people you have, you know, and in these families, if y'all got together, if the brothers took their resources and begin to put money together, you can go buy land. Matter of fact, there's a lot of people out there that have land that will do owner finances, because what y'all gonna come across, family, is most of these banks are not gonna finance land to you unless you, number one, unless you have damn near half the money to put down, number one. You know about your credit score and all that stuff like that. But if there's not property on that land, like a house or something like that, or that property, that land has been developed, a lot of these banks are not going to touch it. You know, that's number one. Number two, if you're not going to find many agents, because they're not going to make a large commission. So if you're not looking at buying property and spending at least $100 grand, you're going to run across that kind of issue. So you need to find land where you're going to find it owner finance, you know, and things of that nature. So again, but you will have people complain. They're not going to do the research. They're not going to do any kind of thing but complain about the system. But they're not going to come together and try to build and be separate, right? Now, dealing with the public food system, the same school system or the food system that we were indoctrinated in, we're going to send our kids to it. Now, like I said, if you had 6, 8, 10, whatever families, I want you to think about this here. You can have one sister or 2 sisters that can teach. If you have old enough children that are in the truth, you can have them to teach the younger kids or what have you. You can get a sister, 1 or 2 sisters can do the cleaning and the cooking and things of that nature. You can get 1 or 2 sisters to help, and some kids to help with the gardening and things of that nature. Working with the animals on the land. You know, while the brothers go to work and the brothers bring their resources, bring their money, their income home, and then you begin to build. You can, you know what I'm saying, you might have a brother that may be good in carpentry. You might have a brother that may be good in auto mechanic. You might have a brother that's good in, you know, plumbing, electrical, whatever. You know, but you have to come together. You have to stop all the complaining, stop all the whining, stop all the grumbling, and come together. You know, again, that's what this walk is about. This walk is about us coming together and not about us debating and complaining about the system, but then you would rather go work for a system that don't give two dead flies about you, but you will not put that same energy or even half that energy behind doing your own thing. And again, family, just like in the days of Noah, you know, if you're trying to tell brothers and sisters these things and they're not preparing, whether they so-called in the truth or not, just like in the days of Noah, you know, they're gonna keep going about their business. But when stuff go chaotic, you have to close your doors to these people. Do not let these people in, because these people are they're going to be the same spirit, the same mindset that they were in the world. They're going to bring that into your realm or onto your property, and they're gonna be your downfall. So do not bring these brothers and sisters that are not preparing right now, or that don't want to come together and prepare. Do not have these brothers and sisters around you. You know, I've even warned brothers and sisters myself, and people think I'm playing. Brothers and sisters think I'm playing. You know, what that is, Russia. Russia just the other day got rid of a lot of their bonds. I want to say like $14 billion of bonds. They sold the U.S. bonds. I want to say Turkey. I mean, there's a whole bunch of countries selling bonds, selling the U.S. treasury bonds. So again, family, this economy is going to collapse, and these people are telling you guys signs. They're giving you the signs, you know. But again, our people refuse to adhere and listen. You know what I'm saying? They want to complain. They want to fuss. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I'll tell you what. Let's deal with that part right fast. You know what I'm saying? Let's deal with that part. Let's go to Numbers. Let's go to Numbers. Numbers chapter 11. And we're going to get verse 1. And when the people complained, it displeased Yahweh. And Yahweh heard it. And his anger was kindled. And the fire of Yahweh burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the othermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto Yahweh, the fire was quenched. You know, again, like I say, if our people are complaining about the system and then you're trying to give them a solution, like the scripture says, our people perish for the lack of vision, or lack of knowledge. But without no vision, the people perish also. You can give them the vision, and they either don't want to see it, or they're going to kick against it, they're going to complain against it. You know, so you have to understand the same thing that's going on right now in spiritual Egypt, spiritual Babylon. Once it's time to go out there and get in the wilderness, and you have to learn how to survive. You have to learn how to seek water. You have to learn how to seek shelter. You have to learn how to, come together and find sources of food to eat. Because you're not going to conveniently go down there to the nearest Walmart or to the nearest grocery store and stuff like that. You know, matter of fact, check this out. You find it weird that all the people that talked about the so-called FEMA camps for years, people made mockery of them. Now here it is. They showing it right there in front of your face that when they have these separating these children from their parents, you know, down there between the border of Texas and Mexico. They holding these kids down there and these people down there in makeshift FEMA camps or whatever, or detention centers that were old Walmarts and stuff like that. I mean, it's just going to show you the people are putting the information out there for you. They're showing you these things, You know what I'm saying? And what's gonna happen is this system, just like does with everything, it slowly but surely feeds all this stuff to you and numb you down and dumb you down, and then by the time you realize that what's going on, it's too late. It's like the thing dealing with the frog. You know, you take a frog and you put him in a pot of water, and the water is cold, and then you turn the fire on, and then the fire, you slowly turn the fire up. He begin to boil to death because he don't realize what's going on around him. But if you take him, you put him in a pot of hot water, boiling hot water, he gonna jump right out. This is what the system is doing. The system is like a pot of water, cool water, and they're turning the heat up slowly but surely. And around you, you don't realize that you are dying. You're being consumed, and you don't even get it. And by the time you realize it, it's going to be too late. You know. But anyway, family, like I said, you know, I want to do a little change of scenery. It's very, very, very beautiful out here. I mean, it's peaceful. You know, even though there's people out there doing that thing, I don't let that distract me. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very, it's very beautiful out here. It's just truly inspiring to me, you know, because I've been looking at land. My wife and I have been looking at land, and again, pretty soon I'm gonna either purchase that land or, you know, or what have you. You know, like I said, the old saying, my grandma said, "Shit to get off the pot." But again, you know, making moves to buy land and stuff like that, so I can be able to sit back and look at the trees and listen to the birds, and hopefully I find you know, some property with a nice lake on it. I mean, not lake, excuse me, with a nice pond on it, or maybe a river going through, or a stream going through it, or what have you. You know, because again, you know, learning how to, you know, purify the water, you know, things of that nature. I mean, it's just beautiful, family, to be able to sit out here like this here, you know. So anyway, family, I just want to make this real short, and hopefully you guys got it, and hopefully it truly inspired somebody. You know what I'm saying? You know, if one person is inspired by it, then that's who the message was for. That's who the message was for. With that being said, family, as usual, peace, love, Shalawam.